watch, obviously, is Wall Street, a big sell-off today, the biggest we've seen, and this was among the catalysts, not just what was going on with this ban, this travel ban, but what was going on in Iran, conducting a ballistic missile test that defies not only the Iranian agreement that we had, the nuclear agreement, but already UN measures already in place, so that Iran violated that, conducted this ballistic missile test, and former Florida Congressman, Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, I think here to say I told you so, even though he's not bragging about it. Allen, just as you surmised, in short order, Iran would be doing this sort of stuff. Today it did, with promises of more to come. What do you make of that?
Yeah, absolutely right. And we have not done anything that is going to thwart this belligerent behavior from Iran. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was signed back in 2005, and it stipulated that Iran could not do ballistic missile tests for 8 years. And just last year, in 2016, they started to do ballistic missile tests. As a matter of fact, it stipulated that they had to go 5 years without any type of conventional weapons trading and arms dealing, and they've already violated that with Russia and also with China. So we know that they have violated UN Resolution 2331, where they're not supposed to have these ballistic missile tests. So early on, we see Iran stepping up, and this is the first major test for the Trump administration to deal with.
Now, you had a lot of people telling me, a lot of Democrats saying, well, this was not really part of the nuclear agreement. I cannot imagine that we would have countenanced this. And I find the timing of this right now in the first days of a Trump administration curious.
Well, no, this was part of the nuclear agreement. They were not supposed to do any type of ballistic missile testing for 8 years. And like I said, that was originally brought up in 2015. There is no agreement with Iran. They have violated consistently. We know that they have been harassing our naval warships in the Persian Gulf. We know about the 10 U.S. sailors that they put on their knees at gunpoint. But we continue to believe that there is something that we should be honoring when there is nothing that should be honored. So I think one of the key things that the Trump administration should do, once they get their entire national security team in place, to include the Secretary of State, they need to look at this executive agreement and consider it voided.
You know, Iran is one of the 7 countries with whom we have this sort of ban on travel, or at least slow travel. Ban is probably not the proper word, because we just are taking longer searching those who come from these countries like Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Iraq, Yemen. But Iran, that seemed like a no-brainer. The counter-argument to that is that, well, there are a lot of good people coming from Iran as well, and we are blighting the entire country. What do you say to that?
Well, there has to be consequences for the fact that you have the #1 sponsor of Islamic terrorism, a country that has consistently said what they want to do as far as destroying Israel. We know that they are participating in operations in Syria which are a violation of human rights, and I don't hear anyone screaming and yelling about the Al-Quds force, Hezbollah, which is a dedicated and noted terrorist organization that is operating in Syria, committing atrocities against women and children there. So why aren't we protesting about that? So Iran is not a good actor nation, and there should be consequences for the actions that they have taken.
All right, Allen West, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you again.
Thanks. Pleasure.
All right, you have probably heard by now that